Hey guys, good evening and welcome back with me, Damayanti. In this lovely evening, I'm going to tell you the synopsis of Home Alone 2. Hope that you guys enjoy this and let us get started. One day, in a big house at Chicago, they were showing the chaotic situation of Kevin McAllister's family in preparing their departure to celebrate a Christmas day in Florida. Each of them checked their stuff before they fly to Florida in the next day. In addition, Kevin's parents made sure that Kevin would not left alone again, as what happened last year. In the morning, the day before they fly to Florida, Kevin and his brother Buzz was performing such a choir contest in the church. Everything went well actually. Suddenly, when Kevin took his turn for singing, his brother, Gus, mocked him behind, which was make all of the audience laugh. Kevin was confused at the time, then he realized that was his brother's doing. Surrounded by anger, Kevin turned back and pushed Buzz, which caused him and other students fell down. The show went so terrible, that's why McAllister's family got home quickly. Arriving home, Kevin's parents told him and also Buzz to forgive each other. They were afraid that Kevin would leave home alone again, as what has happened in the past, because it was also started by arguing with Buzz. Forcing by their parents, then Kevin and Buzz forgave each other. But actually, Kevin was still mad to his family, yet he couldn't do nothing. After that, all members of McAllister's family were going to sleep early for their tomorrow's flight. To ascertain that they wouldn't late again, Kevin's mother set up the alarm, but accidentally, when Kevin's father wanted to charge his phone, he unplugged the alarm cable, then the alarm was set up not in a proper time, as Kevin's mother said before. Then, do you know what was going on in the next day? Of course, they were getting late again. In short time, all members of McAllister's family prepared their stuffs and their salts and hurry. Arriving at the airport, they were running so fast before they get closed. Nevertheless, in the middle of their way going to the gate, Kevin asked the battery for his recording stuff to his father. Actually, Kevin's father already warned Kevin's for not talking about it first because they were in a rush. Yet, Kevin was giving first asking about the battery. Then, his father gave his bag, which contains money, card, wallet, and battery, to Kevin. His father kept running to the gate, but Kevin was still putting on the battery on his camera. When he has done with it, he tried to catch up his father. Poorly, Kevin lost him. He kept going to the gate and arriving in the gate, he told the officer that his father was in the plane, then he allowed to go inside. In the plane, he thought that he was in the right plane with his father, yet actually, he was in the plane for going to the New York City, not to Florida, and he was not with his family. In another side, his mother had the same feeling when Kevin left out again. Yet, Peter, Kevin's father, convinced that was only her negative thought. Unfortunately, and finally, Kevin left out alone again, but not in the home. Now he was alone in New York City. In the other side, McAllister's family arrived at Miami, Florida. When they were taking and checking for their bags, they realized that Kevin was lost because he's not there for taking his bag. Knowing that fact, suddenly Kate, Kevin's mother, fainted. In a hurry, after Kate sobered, she and Peter, Kevin's father, reported that case to the airport police office. Getting the child lost news, the police started to find out where was Kevin. In the other side, Kevin arrived at New York City airport, then looking for his family. However, he saw none of them. He was so confused at that time. Then he took a look outside and realizing that he lost again. Yet not in the house, but now he lost in New York City instead. He was so excited that he could do vacation without his family, and here his adventures began again. At New York City, Kevin used his father's money and credit card to do vacations during the Christmas. He was traveling there guided by the television broadcast recording that available in his camera, which was complete bar recorder too. At the same time, when Kevin was looking for the hotel, he passed with the two bandits, Marif and Howie, that had tried to steal in his house at Chicago, and on the time, they planned to steal in the biggest toy store there, named Duncan's Toy Store. For their new stealing mission, they named themselves the Sticky Bandits. Then, back to Kevin. Long story short, he arrived at Plaza Hotel New York and booked the accommodation there but deceived the hotel officer that his father told him to book a reservation there. In the beginning, the officer was suspicious with Kevin because he came alone, but after he showed his father's credit card and it was real, then Kevin got his room and he also got such a luxurious service, such as market. And at Plaza Hotel New York, Kevin seemed happy enjoying the hotel facilities, even though he got anything that he wanted there. Suddenly he missed his mother, and he wished that he could meet his mother soon. And the next day, exactly one day left before the Christmas, Kevin went to Duncan's toy store for buying his favorite toys. After that, when he was paying the bill and the cashier, he donated his money there. Mr. Duncan, the owner of that toy store, felt so touched by Kevin's manner. So to appreciating Kevin's kindness, he allowed him to take one thing from the Christmas tree beside the cashier place. At first, Kevin was confused to decide what should he choose. Then, he chose a couple turtle doves according to Mr. Duncan's advice. He told Kevin that the turtle doves showed the affection and it was better to give one of those to a special person exactly on Christmas Day. After that, Kevin thanked Mr. Duncan and he left the toy store. In front of Duncan's toy store, when he was waiting for a taxi, suddenly someone yelled at him. He was shocked and when he looked at his bag, that were the sticky bandits that he has met last year. He was so afraid and trying to escape from the sticky bandit and his axis. Arriving at the Plaza Hotel, Kevin was surprised because the receptionist knew that Kevin again stole his father's credit card. Due to that fact, Kevin tried to run away from that hotel and again he escaped safely. Unfortunately, getting away from the hotel, he kidnapped by the sticky bandit. In the middle of the sticky bandit's way for hiding Kevin, accidentally Marv told their sly plan for stealing at Duncan's toy store. Without knowing, Kevin recorded it, so later he could report them to the police. While the sticky bandit kept arguing about the plan, Kevin used that opportunity to escape. In the other scene, when McAllister's family was still wondering where was Kevin, suddenly they got a call which informed that Kevin was in New York, proof by Kevin's father's card detected in Plaza Hotel, New York. According to that news, all of the McAllister family packed their stuffs and fled to New York. Meanwhile, on the other side, Kevin went to his Uncle Rob's house because he needed the place to sleep. And luckily, his uncle's house was still in renovation. With a sad feeling, he went anywhere, probably he could get another cozy place for resting. Long story short, Kevin arrived in somewhere which was fulfilled by turtle doves. Over there, he met the lady protector and he was shocked. Kevin thought that she was temperament, yet she was not. The lady protector was so kind and she rescued Kevin by helping him get out his leg from the hole. After that accident, they both was getting close as a friend, and before Kevin left her, the lady protector advised Kevin for saying sorry to his family. Because of his advice, Kevin gets sad and he planned to go home. Suddenly, in the middle of his way, exactly when he stopped in front of St. Anne's Hospital Children, he remembered such a bad mission of the sticky bandit for stealing in Duncan's toy store. According to his intention to do such good things in Christmas, he decided to rescue Duncan's toy store. Then he went back to his uncle's house and set up a lot of traps there in every corner of the building. Then, when his trap was done, he went to Duncan's toy store and he witnessed the sticky bandits was running their mission. In a hurry, Kevin ran his plan by broke the Duncan's toy store window so the bell would ring and the sticky bandit would try to escape. Fulfilled by Meadows feeling, the sticky bandit was trying to chase Kevin, even though Kevin's trap got the muscle waist. Surprisingly, the sticky bandit get past all of the traps and Kevin arrested by them. The sticky bandit was trying to intimidate Kevin to not report anything to the police. Fortunately, the lady protector was available there and she rescued Kevin. And finally, the sticky bandit arrested by the police. After that case, Kevin go to the Rockefeller Center, the place where the biggest Christmas tree is available. Over there, he promised to be a good boy and hoped that he could meet his mom. Luckily, his boy was graded and he met his mom there. They apologized to each other and went to the Plaza Hotel together. And the next morning, which was the Christmas day, all of the McAllister family shocked by a lot of gifts that sent from Mr. Duncan's for thanking Kevin's kindness and rescuing the Duncan's toy store. Suddenly, when Kevin opened his gift, he remembered the lady protector. Then he went to meet her. He said Happy Christmas Day for her, then gave one turtle to her, which is showing that the lady protector is the special person in Kevin's life on that Christmas day. Then the story is closed by the screaming of Kevin's father because of the abnormal hotel bills made by Kevin. That's the end of the synopsis of Home Alone 2. I wish that after you watching this video and after you watching my explanations or the synopsis of Home Alone 2, probably you have such big intention to watch this. And for the closing, let me say goodbye and thank you for watching me. Bye bye.